What's going on, guys? It's another wonderful Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. It is Famine from Famine Studios. We are live here in two locations this time. We are live on the illustrious YouTube and over on Famine Studios Facebook page. So I see we got a lot of people wandering in and saying hello, so let's check in with the chat. We got Bjorn, as always, first one in the door. And we got Jess giving me a hard time because I wasn't on time for my pre-show live alert. There you go. And he was here earlier. He will be back. And it looks like Dave made it in on early this time. That is incredible. Thank you for joining, Dave. And we got Jess again. This guy, Famine. He shows up on both platforms. I haven't quite figured that out yet, but it's something. And we got Ian walking in. Ian is here at the ugly early hours of the day. So yeah, how's everybody been? I've had a pretty productive week. Kind of productive, right? Got some stuff done. Almost finished editing the entire vlog. I shot a little bit more today because I was working on a project for our friend Toy Domination for his channel. Did some VO work for him, and I wanted to because the Terminator. But we wanted to make sure that that was done and taken care of, and so I did a little bit of BTS work for that as well. It'll be included in the vlog that should go up tomorrow. Also did a little bit of work during the week. I did video some of it. Took some pictures and stuff, the process, but this is that kit bash we've been working on. And I just kind of beefed out the rear end because I want to put a winch on there for the crane. And I also picked out a different red that I kind of liked more to dry brush over some of the spots, and it really makes it pop as a red tractor-like vehicle. So that's exciting as well. We'll set that there for the time, but we're going to work on that, I think. We'll work on that a little bit later tonight. But I mean, I know a lot of people tuned in because it's me, obviously. It's the face that runs the place. You want to see this gorgeous this gorgeous man, right? This right here can't be beat. It's the best hair on YouTube on a Tuesday night at 9 p.m. So I get it, but you probably wanted to tune in and see me open this. I've been excited about this. I held off. It arrived in the mail yesterday, and I waited for you guys. I said, you know, chat, my friends, they're all going to want to be there. Don't open this now, famine. So, oh, you tuned in to see Mr. Stark, who's trying to be bad right now. Mr. Stark, come here, Bubba. Here, bud. Come here. Up we go. Mr. Stark says hello. How's it going, bud? Yeah, I won't put your hat on right now. You being good? You being a good boy? There you go. So you got your Mr. Stark time. Yes, you're a celebrity. You're famous. Oh, come here, Mama Rosie. You want to say hi to Rosie? Come here, Rosie. Come here, Mama. Come here, Rosie. Oh, you're so pretty. Oh, she's so pretty. Oh, there's the Rosie. Oh. All right, we got a Mama Rosie, too. You're so famous. Oh, you're a celebrity. Yes, you are. Can I have kisses? Oh, thank you. Oh, you're such a lovely lady. I love you. Go play with the boys. Cow man. Do you want to come up here, Cow? No? You just want to fight with your mom. Okay. So there you go. You got a little dog show. Snowflake's over on the bed watching the dogs play. And the release date over there isn't for 2.5 weeks. I'm sorry. I think this came out early because this was supposed to be released, what, November? Yes, thank you, Defiant. Smash that like button. I appreciate that. And I want to get a big thank you to everybody who is a patron that is here and joining the channel. And yeah, let's rock and roll. Let's do this thing. I'm going to switch camera, get you guys set up to watch this opening. So I guess you guys get to watch like a little, you could watch like a little video. I mean, I could just do this. I could just do that. I don't even have to turn my microphone off. I just do it. I'm just like, there you go. That's that. I make a lot of noise while I do this, but here we are. There we are. Okay, and then we turn this off. And here we go. So I am, anybody that knows me, anybody that knows I open, I don't think I have a single thing in package unless it's like something I'm planning to open. So if you see some horrific opening of it was supposed to come out December 3rd. There we go. So if you see some horrific opening of packages happening here and you're one of those people that thinks that everything should stay in the set and not be played with, I don't know what to tell you and I don't know how to help you. So you just keep that to yourself. We can all be friends. So it does have the really cool Mandalorian logo with the retro Kenner on there. We'll show that off. We can show that off. And then on the back, I'll do this for you. It's got the Shriek-Hawks that are in the show, Shriek-Hawk unit. I don't know why they're just called Mandalorian Shriek-Hawk. I feel like somebody left off the phrase unit or team or something, but be careful you don't lose any knives. I'm going to eat those knives. I'm actually just going to put them in my mouth, and then that way they stay with me forever. Which I think is a solid plan, right? It was either that or I put them in the other way. But this is a family program, so you know. Ian, I'm going to leave that on the screen, Ian. That's just play. It's like driving a car off the lot, right? It's like, nope, you just ruin the value of it. I feel the same way when people get mad at homeowners for doing things to their home. They're like, well, the resale value. Okay, but they're living in it. It's their home. Like, let them. They're allowed to do whatever they want. So keep that to yourself. You don't have to say every thought that comes to your brain. I do, or I'll die. But you guys don't have to. People that are mean on the internet. Okay, so it comes packed in like this. I feel like, what's up, Aunt? I feel like they should have, I don't know, maybe done a more condensed like card. I don't know. But yeah, I do like that. So I guess I could. There we go. That's out of the way. Now here you go, world builders. If you wanted to, you keep hold of this and you can use it as a rooftop on a diorama, a window. That's great window material for stuff. So I'm going to hold on to that because that's a big flat sheet of transparent plastic, which you don't often get unless you buy it outright. So that's some good packaging right there. I'm going to hold on to that. And then that's just cardstock. We can get that right out of here. What are you doing, doggos? Yeah, exactly. You if you bought it, you can do what you want. You guys want to play with some cardboard? Yeah, man. You got some cardboard, buddy? Tear it up. Good boy. He just took it and wandered off. All right, so I'll start popping out figures and we'll look at them individually. So first up, we have the female Mandalorian from the Shriek-Hawks. Let's get her pack out. It looks like she's got vibroblade, a new vibroblade. I like that there's several new vibroblades in here. And there's a couple of completely new pieces. So that's also dope. Let's fight with the tape here. That stays there for a minute. Like that. And in the background, you'll hear Cowman tearing apart that tape. So we've got our female Mandalorian with the traditional bucket. Her rangefinder does not move. That's quite all right. This handkerchief that's on there is a new sculpt, I believe. Bo-Katan chest armor, Bo-Katan or Casca Reeves arms and forearms, I believe. Could be Sabine as well. But let's work those in. Mine are tight, which that's what you want. You want a good tight elbow. I'll have to work those in a little bit, maybe apply some heat to them later. But there we go. That one's nice and movable. But she's got that great shoulder pauldron idea where they put it on kind of like a little flap of material so you can articulate the arms. Again, just really cool figure. Really cool stuff that they did to it. And I love the colorway. It looks like this new butt cape and kind of the hip pads are new. New holster for the Westar, right? Isn't that what it's called? Somebody will tell me I'm wrong in the comments. That's fine. But that goes there. And a new jetpack with a little antenna on it. There's the camera. New jetpack with an antenna. That thing looks great. It's in casting green. And that plugged right in there. And then I'm trying to see where her knife goes because I think there's a sheath. I don't know. It's a vibroblade though, and that's really cool. And so that looks like that's the blade that comes with Mando. It's not actually. That is a completely different, I don't know how well this is going to focus up on camera. There we go. That's a completely different blade. And yeah, we'll stick that right in her hand for now. I think that's pretty cool. You know what? We'll go like this. We'll pose her up for a second here. We'll stick that blade backwards in her hand. So she's like a badass biatch. She's ready to fight. And we'll stick the Westar right in her hand. She's ready to party. I like that. And the head sculpt is really cool. That's the traditional Night Owl helmet, but it's got the scratches that were included on the show on the design for that like racing stripe around the helmet. I'm so glad we got new figure stuff, like new accessories on these figures. So let's go over to the next one. Now this blaster that he's got is I think it's considered a custom Westar blaster. A new vibra knife. He's got the big blue jetpack. Different rocket tip on there, I think. You know, that's one of those things that I pay infinitely little attention to on all my figures that I've gotten is the jetpacks. I don't know why, but I just don't pay attention to it. But what a great color palette. What a, you know, your traditional new Mando head sculpt. The narrower cheek profile. It's got the Boba Fett style pre-war armor plates on there. I like it. The green looks that green is really nice. I love a Mando in that full green. He's got Boba pieces and Din pieces, I think there. This Kama is new, if I'm not mistaken, and that's cool that he's got like access right there too. So he could totally do splits and stuff if he needs to, or if he's got to like take a 2 when he's in the war zone. Definitely cool. Some cool leather boots instead of the traditional, spats that are on some of these armored troopers. We've got some leather boots there, which is great because that's fun for riding blurgs. And we got speeder bikes. Today, somebody came across they're calling it the Epic Adventure line now instead of the Epic Heroes line. The 4-inch scale. There's a Mando with a speeder bike, and he's got additional articulation, so that's exciting. But I'm just thinking of like, oh man, I could sit one of these guys on a speeder bike and have my Mandalorian speeder bike gang. Because I'm going to pick these apart for custom pieces and stuff, but as is, these really look great. Ragtag makeup of the armor worn by the Mandalorian covert. Yes, and also those people, the people that are in on Mandalore, the survivors. I'm hoping that we get a set of those guys because they had actual like battle droid heads as armor that they like cobbed together for protection. I thought that was great. Like, what a clever kind of Mad Maxian idea to make a set of Mandalorian survivors. And they were like, okay, we need armor. Let's tear apart this droid here and use their armor against them and against any intruders. So I'm impressed by. This lot so far. So we've got our traditional Death Watch blaster here with the foregrip. This one kind of got warped in the package. I'll have to like heat that up, apply a little heat to it, and set a 1-2-3 block on it. But just your traditional rifle. We'll pop this guy out. Got on authority that his rangefinder does work. So we're going to have to give him a rocket pack. So let's give this guy, we'll give him the red because he's got the red armor there. I think that's how he's color-coded. And we'll give him a blaster. Got to have a sidearm. And we'll give him this knife right here. Does this knife go to him? I don't know. Will it go to him now? Absolutely. And again, new vibroblade sculpt. I think that's super cool. And like I said, this one in particular, his rangefinder does work. He has the screen accurate paint stripe down his helmet. He's got the Fighting Corps Death Watch logo on his shoulder. Again, he's got that little material that holds there. Looks like this crotch piece, this cod piece, whatever you want to call it. The cummerbund that I think some of the people call it that is a new piece, right? That's all a new piece on there. So that's cool. It's got a holster built in. One of the things I'm so glad is that they gave us a holster that doesn't already have a blaster sculpted into it. That is a pet peeve of mine on all toys. Like, I get it for little kids, G.I. Joe figures, Army figures, they can't, they shouldn't have Stark, Rosie. Hey, get out of there. It looks like there's a little wedge of material in there, like something stuck in between his fingies. Just take care of that. But yeah, they shouldn't have like little pieces, so I get that. But man, when it comes to Star Wars figures, like I should absolutely be able to take the blaster out of his pocket, his holster, and play with it and then put it back, or have him, have his weapons removed from him. Maybe he's held hostage, or maybe he's been beat up. Maybe he's in a fight without him. So love that colorway. It's almost like a red, white, and blue, but it's not, because it's got the, that's closer to a tan, and he's got the orange on the arm. I like the way this is done. And again, he doesn't have the shin armor that some of the Mandos do. So super happy with that vibroblade. And again, let's stick his backpack on. And give him his rifle. That hand is messed up. I mean, he still holds his blaster though, so that's super cool. Yeah, I'm gonna have some fun posing these guys up for some photos before I donate them to the pile. I've got a whole bucket of Mandalorians, and I've just been making Mandos piece by piece, so that's pretty dope. Maybe he's doing hand-to-hand combat. Yeah, exactly. And then this is the one that I'm most excited about. I believe it was Outer Multiverse. I saw make a pretty bitchin' custom with this immediately, like as soon as he got it. So I'm excited to almost copy his recipe. Let me just get the accessories out here. We can get rid of this tray. That's the green stripe for his backpack, so that goes to the green pauldron. But check this out. I do believe that this figure has the most original pieces on it, most brand new pieces on it. He does have the original Din Djarin. When he first starts out, he's got the same arms, so those are Din's arms there. But then we've got a brand new helmet with a rangefinder that moves, brand new helmet sculpt, new sculpted rangefinder that adjusts. We've got a completely new chest piece. That's effing cool. Just all new. We've got this cod piece here. It's got sculpted belt buckles. It's got a holster. So again, we can just slide that on in there. In the words of Roger Smith, we're going to dive on in. And then he's got the traditional Mando armor plates on there. He's got thigh cut, T-bar for the hip. So those are Mando pieces. Same with the knees, but then the boots are again non-traditional boots, and there's like a little sculpted, maybe a cylinder code there or a piece of ammo. That's great. He's got the backpack, and then he's got this vibroblade that's got a he's got a little, where are you? It's got like a little hook on the handle there that he could maybe use as a tool or like in close quarters combat. And then the blade has a Tonto type point. So I think that's super cool. I would love that these would have holsters for these, or sheaths, I should say. But there we go. Just gonna have to work that arm in. And he's got the Death Watch logo on his shoulder. But this is like, that chest piece is so freaking cool. I thought originally it was going to be the heavy Mando's chest piece, just based on the photos, but no, that's all new. So that's super dope. I hope that they reuse that one for other figures. Because if not, I'm going to have to try and track some of these down individually, because I'd love that for some armor. Make like a specialized division of Mandalorians within my units. But these are super, super cool. We'll set them up here. So we got 4 new Mandalorians from the show. Yes, they're from the show. I know some people are like, oh, why couldn't they just give us random characters? Guess what? None of these guys have names. So they're your random characters. You can pop pieces off. You can pop the heads off, swap things out, use them for customs, easy customs. And for the price tag of what, $60 on the pre-order, you're looking at 4 figures for $60. I'll take that most days of the week. Like, that's such a cool setup, a cool spread. They have independent weapons from each other, like custom, you know, not custom, that's not the word. They have unique blades. They have blasters. They have unique armor across the board. These guys have similar armor, but there's differences. There's differences in the pieces that are on there, the accessories. It's so cool to have this variety to add to the Mandalorian figures that we've got. So, hell yeah. Like, I am down with these guys. I'm super excited to have those in my collection. And like I said, I'm going to have some fun posing those up. I'll probably hit them with some heat just to loosen their joints. That's just a me choice. I know some people just prefer to work them in naturally, but I want to blast them a little bit with the heat and call it a day. So that was fun. Thank you for indulging me. I'm glad that I waited to open those up and hang out with you guys and talk. But I mean, it's damn cool. Damn cool Mandalorians. The camo. Oh, so cool. Got a camo. And we got another female Mandalorian that's not Bo-Katan or the armor or Koska. So that's good. That and Sabine. So that'll add to the ranks. And again, I believe it was our friend. It was our friend Ian who mentioned that we're getting another Sabine on the Dog Wolf, but we do get the head. That means 2 things. We get the head sculpt. We get the helmet to, you know, swap it instead of that giant monstrosity, and I don't have to manually paint a helmet. So that's cool. So now I'm going to get this thing down here because, again, I've been working on this. This is the chicken tractor walker sauropod bipedal thing that we've been doing. I added some accessories to it, some pieces. I beefed it up a little bit. I made sure it could still walk. Let's take a look at that before we go any further. So I did go through and hit some of these areas with a different red that I thought was more rustic tractor. Did the caution stripes, kind of touched that up there. Started to do the headlights. I'm not done. I'm doing kind of like a little bit of object source lighting. I am no good at it. It's like wizardry to me, but I kind of have an idea of what I want for the headlights on there. But yeah, so the legs move again. I went through to a couple of parts and really just dampened down the red on them so that maybe they've been scraped up a lot or they've been worked on a lot. Maybe it's such an old piece that it's just been polished and replaced. But now it's got a wooden base on the back. I wanted to make sure it looked like wood. And we're going to go ahead and put like a wheel here or something, because I want a mechanical solution that feeds up into this that provides the chain for this towing device, right? That's what it's going to do, is tow it, or, pull things out of the mud, pull things out of a ditch, or even drag a robot or drag a big rock out of somebody's yard. A million things that could happen. Did some fine detail work on the wires. I think that was done in a live stream with you guys, but I just wanted to show you a couple of those things before we continue on. So I'm thinking today I want to paint these in, and I want to paint them in like an imperial gray, just so it stands out a little bit against the red. But first we'll do a coat of black paint. Hey, Rosie. You having fun destroying that cardboard? Want to get them with some black first before we do any imperial gray on there. That gray blue. And we're using apple barrel matte black. You guys know I love this for this purpose here. Get a piece of talent. And I actually before I continue on, I had actually removed this again because I thought about just not having it there, but I like that it's just a weird piece that's like very purpose. It looks like it's there intentionally. It's something with intention. So I'm thinking maybe we can hang like hoses or something off of here. It's used for something important, and that's why it's got a purpose-built piece there. Hey, Stark, get out of there. So that's just, you know, a little how my brain works when it comes to building these things. That's how my thoughts go when it comes to world building and adding pieces and making things look like, you know, they should, like they belong. Sorry, just want to... Just want to check something over here. Keeping an eye on the chat. And we'll get some black paint going here on the brush. There we go. Put a little on there. And as I said, I want to get this on here before we put that imperial gray, that deep blue, whatever you want to call it, or light blue. I don't know. It's an imperial gray. That's the color we're calling it. From chicken walker to chicken tractor to fried chicken. I don't know where the fried chicken part came from. I'm fat now. Hey, Stark, get out of there, bud. Hey. It's like this dude doesn't, he gets fed. He gets TREATSs. He gets to, you know, pretty much, you know, just have just the best food. It's expensive, nice, healthy dog food that tastes great. They seem to really love it. But man, there's something appealing about a litter box to that guy. He just will not let it go. What's going on, everybody? That is Site C. He's one of the OG, one of the best OG Jurassic Park customizers. He was out here sculpting figures by hand before Mattel even considered putting them out, before, you know, Hasbro had the license, before any of them were doing it. He was out there creating some crazy stuff. Like his baby Stegosaurus is still better than anything that's out there. And yeah, he's also a paid shill, apparently. I guess that check did clear. What he doesn't realize is the amount that I paid him from that check was in pesos. So enjoy that, buddy. You can get some tacos. That's about it. And for anybody that's like really curious, this is from the ATST legs. I cobbed those pieces off here. That's what those are. And then I glued them in place and I pinned it with some styrene rod just to have something sturdy mechanically holding them in place instead of just a chemical bond with glue. Talk about a good introduction. But yeah, I've known Site C for, Jesus Christ, I was probably what, 13 or 14 when I was on JP Toys when I first started joining that forum, and I'm now 38, so I don't know, somebody else do the math. And again, just getting a base coat on here of the matte black from Plaid. Again, that's from our friends over at Plaid. They had sent me a whole slew of things a couple of years back, and I'm still working through some of the bigger containers because that's just how damn much they sent me. Sir. Cowman. Cowman. Pardon me. There's a tiny dog that needs a talking to. In. You go into your crate. Get out of there. Go on. Go on. In. In. Come on. In. Get in there. You Looney Tune. You done messed up now, Aaron. And I'm taking the cardboard. Yep, you're in jail. You're in dog jail. Sometimes you gotta put the little dogs in dog jail when they're being bad and don't listen. Gavin is Divine, Brazil, Burundi, Philippines, and Hawaii. All right. Rock on then. Baby Stego was the custom of the day. Sold it to someone. Who knows where it is now. Did anyone eat it? I wonder if they were like, this is just such a good custom. I got to eat this thing. I recently saw somebody trying to offload on Reddit a couple of those animatronic Spinos that were all the rage. I, of course, didn't get one because there's plenty of other opportunities out there now, especially with like 3D printing and stuff, but here we go. Just getting some black paint on here, and I'm gonna paint into any areas where it's visible. Try and get in there. Doesn't have to be completely blacked out, but it would be nice just to maintain the illusion. But that'll dry pretty quick because it was only like a skim coat, and like I said, it's matte, so it will dry fast. We're going to go with, get that color out right now. It's going to be, we're going to go with blue-gray. It's pretty close to the Imperial coloring that I want anyway, the way that I like it to look. So we'll just get the paint out of here. Yeah, yep, everybody got them for $20. I'll never forget that. I didn't get one. I remember quite a few people got them though, but our Walmart just was in a Jurassic drought at that point. Like they didn't have jack or shit. Animatronic Lila from Kenobi, yes. I have one of those as well that I bought to make a custom droid from. So when I put together my Mandalorian kit, that'll be added to like a shoulder pad or something to hang out and keep me company at conventions. And now I'm just going to paint this detail in here. You guys can see. Oh, perfect. You can see what I'm doing. I don't know if it was a protest, but I feel like it was more just somebody's ignorance of the product or whatever and just put it in because at the time, like, that was unheard of. That was like at least a $60 or $70 item. The dinosaur caper. It's like a train heist, except somebody stole a dinosaur. And I am putting the paint on more consistently down here on this end closest to, and then kind of allowing it to dry brush its way up to the other end. That way it kind of shows wear and tear up that way. I think that looks pretty neat. Hey, Timbo, what's happening? Glad you can make it in. Thank you for joining us on this lovely Tuesday. I did the unboxing of those Mandos, and I gotta say, those things are pretty freaking sweet. I don't think it looks much like a neck brace. I mean, if you wanted to like really replace it, you could get something from Marauders. I think it does the job. I think it was made to, you know, be more closer to like a gaiter, a neck gaiter, and not necessarily a scarf. That's just my observation as a nerd who wears scarves and neck gaiters from time to time, usually bandanas, because I like to look like Alan Grant, like a really full Alan Grant. I think we'll go with a little bit more of that paint on here. It is removable. His head pops off, and you can take that scarf right off, because you swap the heads for the helmet. And if anybody was keeping track at home, this is Blue Gray from Vallejo, their model paint line. And if anybody is curious about the swimming lesson, is that the my basement has started to regurgitate water from the drain back up the line. Fortunately, I was doing laundry, so it wasn't anything like absolutely vile. But you know, there's a little bit of water down there, so I thought maybe I could make some extra bread doing like swimming lessons for people. I think that'd be fun. We could do timed swimming trials. All right. So we've got this. Get a little paint on the inside too, just in case the color shows a bit. Okay, purchase for the wet pets market. Yeah, my imperial wet fish market. Grapefruit seltzer from the store. So that little paint color, there's just a couple more hints of it on here. Not enough to be obnoxious, but enough to break up that red, like that. It's fucking red, right? So you've got this piece down here, and I think that's cool. I think we could do a little dry brushing on this deck here. Put some black on there. So now I did consider I did consider doing some powders, and I might go back and do some powders for the feet. Use the pastel like I enjoy doing, but I think in this case, dry brushing and washes for the mechanical bits are better, and it'll blend a little bit easier. So get that on there. So we've got some black on the brush, and then we're just going to take, you guys know the drill, you know how we dry brush, and just add a little bit on here. Nothing major, nothing game-changing or life-changing as far as the process goes. You guys have seen me do this dozens of times, if not more. And it's just basically getting it into some of the creases and cracks, and then I can kind of just take my finger and take a little bit off as character. Now, I do want to make this like dirty, because it is dirty. We'll get underneath, we'll get some soot in there, in that wood. And that's something we can come back to as we do other browns, is just add a little bit here and there and back underneath. But I want to come up with a earth wet fish. God, man. Jesus. Darth Scungeel. That the alien whose face looks like a Scungeel. I want to get some of my greeblies out. That's looking good. I like your weathering work. Well, thank you. Thank you, Timbo. I, too, like my weathering work. Let's see. We got a box of plastic bits here. Let's move this out of the way for a moment. I think I can use a couple of these half rounds to cap off some of those circular areas. There's a little round thing I can use. I like that. I think I'm going to hold on to that for this. I had somebody ask me if I stage my stuff before my shows, so that I'm not like spending time digging through things. And I'm like, have you watched any of mine? Because I spend like an ungodly amount of time digging through stuff like a fool. Because I'm like, oh, it might be right here. Might have something here. So to that person, no, I don't. And let's see. I like that hubcap. Where's the pliers? Where's the pliers? We're going to go ahead and we're going to break off the little tabs that are holding it in place. Get out of here, you son of a bitch. Don't talk to me and my son ever again, you hear me? There we go. All right, that's cool. I'll clean that up with some... I think we got enough pieces there. A couple... I think only like 2 pieces are what I need. Yeah. Cool. All right. Yeah. Won't you? Yeah. Fucking ghost of Paul McCartney will come haunt me. Sue me for singing his music. 2 weeks. You met 2 Long Islanders? They let people out of New York? I was very specific in my directions when I told them not to let anybody leave the island. And I'm using my flush cut nippers just to cut that off there. Actually, perfect. That's exactly what I was going for. That fit together. That was unreasonably Well done. That. Yeah, Adam, you escaped from New York like some type of science project. You got let loose on Governor's Island and swam away and wound up in Jersey, and then you just escaped from there. Jess, you escaped from upstate proper. Adam actually escaped from the city. He broke free of the laboratory and made his way to his current location in parts unknown. What you doing, Snowflake? Just like taking a bath. Mind your business. It's little known is that he actually would lure sailors to their death on rocks and then eat their food. And take one shoelace from each shoe. Thought that was weird. But when I saw that on the news, I knew that Site C was still out there. Okay, get that cleaned up. And I'm using a sanding stick, aka a nail file. If you are uncomfortable and you need to call it something other than a nail file, you can call it a sanding stick. They actually sell sanding sticks, but I'm going to give you a secret. This is an industry secret. They're just nail files. Someone's home to make it annoying as possible. He's old Greg's cousin. You've seen my downstairs mix up. Do you want to go to a club where people wee on each other? Do you like me? I've only just known you. Make an assessment. I'm going to keep that chrome if I can, because I think that'll weather up really nice, but I don't want to like go too hard on scuffing it. You said hard on. So I'm just going to nick a couple of spots. Oh, I know. I'm a founding member. No, I'm not. But yes, there's a club for that, among other things that you can do in New York. New York's got a lot of underground stuff that you can just do, and nobody really bothers you about it, which is good. That's the way it ought to be for those types of things. Like, it's none of your business if nobody's getting hurt and there's no KIDS involved. Got to be careful what you say on YouTube these days. Yeah, I don't think that I'm a fan either. But again, if two consenting adults want to do their thing, or a nightclub full of people want to do their thing, and they have a cleaning crew that's willing to deal with that, far be it from me to tell them no. I don't know if you've been to New York, but people piss everywhere there anyway. Like, I see, people that have been to New York that are New Yorkers and stuff that have lived there, or that have been, residents of the state their whole life and go to the city all the time. We can make fun of New York. It's when people not from New York start running their fucking trap that we get testy. You said testy. I can call you and ask you to make the 150 mice for Christmas window display. Can you maybe one day make a ASMR builder video? I could probably do that. New York City is fun if you go at the right time, you go to the right places. Otherwise, like I'm not saying it's boring, because that's the thing I love about New York is there's never not anything to do. You can always keep yourself occupied, but otherwise it's just, it's a big city and people are going about their way. I've never once been bored in New York, and that's why I find it super easy to walk around New York, because I'm always paying attention to all the things around, so I'm not getting completely worn out from walking. And then, although the last time I was there, I don't know what it was like. I don't know if it was still the fatigue from COVID or because I was just heaviest that I've been. But man, I was having a rough time. Nobody's telling me to go to sleep. just before 3 a.m. here, going to get some sleep before it gets late. Catch the rest with the replay squad. Peace. Thanks, Ian, for being here. I appreciate you, my friend. All right, so we got that. That's got some black on it. I will do a different type of silver on there. And then, as I said, I've got these here. But what I want to do first is I want to sand them a little bit. Just so they take paint. If I was using a rattle can to blast these up, I wouldn't worry so much about Scotch-Briting them or sanding them up. But just because I'm doing these, they'll get a little black paint on them, and this will take the black paint a lot better because they're not shiny. Shiny means smooth. Smooth generally means more difficult to get paint to adhere to it. So I'll just let those dry over there. Rattle can sounds like butt cheek shaped bass fishing lure. It really does. The names on some of those were insane. My grandfather used to have like packs of lures in the basement, and they all had funny names, like, you know, the Twisted Jiggler and the you know, spinning O-ring and things like that. And it's just like, huh? Who also means cool. That is true. We'll do. What kind of metallic paint do I want to use? Let's go with gunmetal. Nope, that's plate mail. I said, let's go with gunmetal. That's shining silver. One more, Famine. You only got 3 silvers over there. Pick one. There we go. Or Rattle Can could be like a Star Wars graffiti artist. Like Banksy. Place here that makes a trout lure that's a bent piece of metal called the nitty one. I saw on TikTok, back when I used to watch that wretched mind rot, like people that did live fly fishing, or not fly fishing, but fly tying on there. And I remember going and watching people tie flies at the outdoor show here. And holy shit, talk about amazing artistry, but also just one of the most boring things you could ever sit and watch another human being do, unless you're really into like watching people tie flies. Because holy crap, just sitting there and watching a stranger just make a loop, pull it tight, make a loop, pull it tight, and like just there's a science and an art to it and all those wonderful things that you say about things like that, but just Jesus Christ, not my hobby. That is not a hobby for me. Here we go. So now we've got our little thing here. And we're going to let that cure, let that paint dry up a little bit. And I'm going to take some of the silver paint here. I'll just put it on these half circles. Let that dry. You can tie flies. Yeah, that's great for people that that's great for people that want to do it. But again, but just like I'd sit there and watch them, and it'd be so mind numbing to me because like I don't fly fish. I don't fish anymore. I haven't gone fish. I should say I haven't gone fishing in I want to say at least 10 years. But just I don't fly fish. I'm just normal fishing and just watching those people tie flies. I'm just like, man, I don't understand how you could spend the time to do that. Like how you could dedicate a good portion of your day to sit there and do that. But then again, people look at this and they're just like, hey, how do you how do you sit there and make these models and kit bash these things? Like, how do you look at that and put it together? So, kind of get it, I guess. But also, yeah. Oh, that's right. I wanted to glue that there. All right, well, we'll just wipe that glue off there. We'll put that. Boy, fam, you messed that up. Well, you know, sometimes it happens. Well, unhappen it. I'm working on it. There's a glue there. Good job. Then we'll put a little blue there. Like that. Then we'll just adhere that there. And then I'll sit here like a dope until that cures. There we go. Yay, super glue. And then I'm just going to put a little bit more in there because I like adhesion where there needs to be adhesion. So now we've got a walker. It's got... How did I get super glue on my hand? I'll never understand. But we've got a walker that's got a crane on it now. We've got some sort of mechanical thing that can feed the line up and over. I'll have to put a loop right here and a loop up top. That's easy. God, these are all the same. Yeah. And that's the thing is like, oh, we didn't have autism in my day. We didn't have these people on a spectrum in my day. It's like, no, there's that neighbor of yours that never got married, that never dated anybody, that all he did was build trains in a cellar. And, you know, that's fine. But, you know, just because you didn't know what to call it back then doesn't mean it didn't exist. Like there was a time when germs did not exist, in quotes, because people did not understand sanitation was part of keeping things from fucking killing you. Reading stories about doctors that would just like amputate people's legs and not wash their hands in between and stuff, and I'm just like, oh. Surgeons. I shouldn't say doctors. I should say surgeons. And like, you didn't have to have any like particular expertise. You just had to have a pretty good, you know, idea of anatomy to be a surgeon back during the Civil War. Can you chop off somebody's leg? I sure can. Congratulations, you're a field medic. Okay. Like, that's how they picked them. I wish I was kidding. Hey, you did a really good job cutting up dinner tonight at the mess hall for those people. You're going to be a doctor now. Okay. Cool. And do I want to put one in? Nah, I don't want to put one in there. Lisa Frankenstein, this makes sense. Nice. Shot in the wounds. Yeah, you know, that's because they didn't know to, you know, remove the bullet, treat the wound, all that stuff. It was crazy because ancient civilizations, they understood to clean a wound, treat it, and dress it. And people would like get hit with axes, hit with obsidian arrowheads and stuff, and keep their limb. Like they would heal their limb, but we were just kind of like, oh, you got shot in the knee by a piece of lead. I guess we'll have to take it from the thigh down, and then you might die anyway. Like, it's wild to me. And I've just put these half sphere little beads on there. Just a little something to add a little more character, something to stand out. the ancients had help from the Anunnaki. They sure did, but also they knew not to fucking sneeze into your open wound. Oh, it's inoculating him. No, it's killing him, Joe. It's killing him. So as I said, I want to put a loop here, a little loop there, and a little loop there for my chain that'll be able to hang down after it's wrapped around here, feeding that there for towing. So let's do a Nuln Oil wash. According to some ancient astronaut theorists, Phil said, is bring me the leeches. The leeches aren't working. Have you tried doing cocaine about this? It's wild to me that leeches are still sometimes used today in medical treatments and maggots. I think I'd rather be discovered in a river somewhere than take that, have that happen. Yuck. Okay, so we got some Nuln Oil on there. Give it a little greasy industrial look. Put a little bit there on the deck. Just maybe some runoff or some squeeze out, whatever you want to call it. That's cool. That's cool. Leeches. Bad coworker can also be a leech. That is true. For legal purposes, though, that's a joke. Yeah, no, Bjorn, it's usually like it's like for deep bone, like not bone, but like deep tissue infection and stuff like that. Like they obviously they don't just go willy-nilly with them, but just the idea to me is I would I'd absolutely go bananas just knowing that that was happening on my body. Not for me. My wound's never been cleaner. My legacy is doing real well. Bundle fly. Yeah, so I think this is where we're at tonight. I think I'm going to stop here on this guy. But yeah, we're making some progress on the chicken tractor, chicken walker, bipedal freaking sauropod tractor thing. And I think it's coming out neat. So let me switch up the camera. We'll take one more look at it. And I guess, you know, you guys can watch like a, yeah, you can watch this one. And there we have it. So we're getting there. We are cranking away at this thing, and I'm really loving the way it's coming out. Again, glad I added some of that other red, added that blue, just breaks it up a bit, and I'm happy with that. So you guys can tune in as I continue to chip away at this. The poultry harvester. It's just a dryer with the sticks in it for taking the feathers off of things. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, you can follow me on Instagram, Famine Studios X, Patreon, Famine Studios X. Go over to TeePublic, buy some shirts, buy some of my girlfriend's designs. She's also got stuff on Next Gen Vanner, ko-fi.com, ko-fi.com/Famine Studios X as well. You can do super chats. You can send thanks. You can like and subscribe. It's literally the cheapest way to do it. It helps the channel. It genuinely does help the channel, which is weird. I know so many, they're like, oh, click the like button and subscribe. Because it helps. It helps push the algorithm to see things. And I love you too. I wish I could quit you. Good night, Bjorn. But it adds, it boosts the channel, helps people see the stream, it puts it in their visibility, it shares it with other things that people watch and like. So if you watch Timbo's videos and you watch my videos and you like our videos, then it's gonna, the next time you tune in for somebody else's thing, it may recommend somebody else who's in our category. So it helps. So as I said, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in. We worked on some cool stuff. We opened some Mandalorians. I will see you guys Friday. World Makers Consortium, 8 p.m. over on Rad Toys channel. And then I will have another Friday night live, late night, more than likely. Hope you guys are well. Be good.